I remember I was once ready to go up on stage just like today, and my heart was really beating hard. My palms were sweaty, and I was wondering if I can ever breathe. I was about to go on stage for a play that I had worked really hard on. I was ready to perform, but I could not think of the last 5 months. All I could think of was that one moment of over and over thinking if this is going to work well. What I did not realize I did was I raised my right hand up, I crossed my fingers behind my back, and I wished for luck to really bestow upon me. I wished for that play to have been absolutely awesome. And it was. The play was brilliant. But what I didn't realize I was doing was I was counting on my very own ritual. Have you ever witnessed yourself have a ritual? Have you ever prepared for something that was really important for you? Have you ever gone in for, let's say, an interview and thought of the company? You would have prepared about the background of the company, about where you want to go, about what package you want. You would have done everything that you could have thought of in that very moment, also ensured that you've gotten a good night's sleep. You would have woken in the morning and you would have probably indulged into something that would sound as familiar as this. Would you have probably tried sweet curd before you left your home? Or ensured that you don't leave your home when the clock strikes 12? Or even played the classic Phoebe Buffet of taking some salt and putting it behind you? All of it hoping for you to bring in some luck, for you to overcome that heart beating really, really, really fast, for you to overcome that four-letter word called fear. Well, I know that each one of us often indulge into these rituals. The question is, what is the deeper meaning of these rituals? Have you ever thought, why do you indulge into these rituals? Is it to calm your nerves down? Is it to overcome the fear that you are feeling at that moment? Or is it to bring in some good luck? Most of us knowingly or mindlessly indulge into these rituals at some point or another. Most of us are scared at some point or another. The question is it okay to let fear overcome the situation and you? Or is it important to find a way to have overcome that fear? About 10 years ago, I remember I was walking a similar path as each one of you was. About 10 years ago, I was in search of that ritual, a ritual that would give me strength, a ritual that would give me courage, a ritual that would tell me, Rohini, you know what, you are safe. A ritual that at that point of time I did not know had the power to change everything for me. And then I found my ritual. My ritual is called as Ritual 108. Now, what is Ritual 108? 1st of August. It's the day that I was born. Every single year, I have indulged into a ritual on the day that I was born. And what I call it my birthday ritual. Now, my birthday ritual had experiments like a trek in the Himalayas, or a bungee jump in Thailand, or quad biking at Dubai, surfing at Bali, or let's just say scuba diving at Maldives. Or did it have snorkeling, zip line, zorbing, horse riding? Now, each one of you would say, Rohini, wait, those words don't sound like a ritual. Whoever said rituals had to be traditional or sacred? Well, each of these ritual offbeat has given me immense strength to move and go and be where I am today. I remember my bungee jump in Thailand. People would often say that, Rohini, these rituals are insane. And I would probably agree with them. Insanity is something that each one of us indulge into at some point or another. But well, I have been known to always try doing the impossible. But it did not sound that exciting when I stood there and I spoke to myself, you've got to be insane. You're standing 600 feet high, just about to take that jump. And I'm looking down and I'm saying, oh my God, what if the rope snapped? But Rohini, you've got to see this through. This is, after all, a ritual. That's me, by the way. I remember on the Himalayas, when I took every single step to reach 22,943 feet high. I remember the last few steps that would have put me on the top of the mountain. Those last few steps spoke to me. Rohini, you've got to be insane. Because what if I slipped? But you've got to see it through, because this is a ritual. I remember going to Maldives and diving deep, diving about 100 feet deep. And that 100 feet deep, I remember asking myself, what if I drown? But Rohini, you've got to see this through, because this is a ritual. I remember going to Bali and surfing, looking for the highest tide, and then using every ounce of my strength to beat that tide and balance on that surfboard. At that point of time, I was thinking, are you insane? But Rohini, you've got to see this through, because this is a ritual. I remember every single time that I have indulged in one of these rituals. I remember the sand acting as stormy during my quad biking. I remember the water acting as crazy during my surfing. I remember the horse being wilder than my appetite to ride it. I remember every single time that I decided to play one of my rituals. I asked myself, am I insane? At that point of time, when the insanity indulged over and over and over again helped me overcome something that runs in each of our mind over and over and over again. It helps each one of us eliminate fear. Fear that often told you that you couldn't, you wouldn't, you shouldn't. Why should you? What if you fail? What if you cannot move ahead? What if this is the end of it? What if? And that what if never lets each one of us move to the real destiny that each one of us are designed for. A fear that often spoke to me when I walked and whispered in my ear when I talked. But what I did not know at that point of time was the power of my ritual. What I did not know was that that one jump would on that day teach me what it is to be courageous. What I did not know at that point of time, that those last steps on the Himalaya would teach me persistence. What I did not know at that point of time, that surfing and that paragliding and that scuba dive would teach me strength. What I did not know, ladies and gentlemen, was the fact that every single time you play your ritual, the way I've been playing it for the last 10 years, will teach you how to beat fear. So if you are sitting here today, I'm going to ask you, what is that offbeat fear of yours? And what is that offbeat ritual of yours? Have you ever sat and done something absolutely crazy? Have you ever sat and had a conversation with yourself? Have you ever sat and understood the real power of your ritual? Have you ever thought, why is it that you cannot do what you are meant to do? Have you ever thought how beautiful your mind is designed to overcome every single instance when it has stopped you? Have you ever thought that is the same mind that holds fear also holds the strength to overpower your very fear? Have you ever thought of unleashing yourself? If you have, then let's start a ritual now. While I take this candle and place it in my hand, why don't you put your right hand out? Go on, put your right hand out. And when I light this flame, why don't each one of you imagine the flame lighting in your very hands? So, what I would like you to do is I would like you to imagine this flame on your palm. And I would like you to have a conversation with this flame. And I would like you to believe that if someone else standing here can, then what can you not? And every time you do that, ask yourself, are you ready to unleash the warrior within? Are you ready to witness the power of ritual? Are you ready for yourself to be you? So go home today and think of that one ritual that is very, very, very close to your heart. One ritual that need not necessarily be traditional or sacred, but a ritual that will help you redefine you. Thank you.